Make these 3 estate planning mistakes at your peril. Hi, Nancy Beauvert here with Agape and NEXsteps. And this week I wanted to talk about some of the top estate planning mistakes that people make and what the repercussions are from that. For those of you who are joining me for the first time here on the channel, thanks for joining, and welcome back to those of you who continue to follow and subscribe to my content. I appreciate it. Those of you who have been following me for a while and watching some of my content, reading some of my articles, know that estate planning isn't as simple as what it seems. On paper and in theory, it seems quite straightforward and quite easy. Even something as basic as the cornerstone of having your will is seen as really a solution to a problem. And it is. It is. A will is a very crucial cornerstone of your estate planning. It's certainly not everything that you need to do to properly do your estate management. If you have created a will, then kudos to you. That is absolutely excellent. And by having that document in place, you're going to have some clarity for the loved ones that you leave behind. You're going to have some basic instructions for everybody to follow through. So that's great that you have a will. But even a will and a very simple estate can be difficult to administer. There's different agencies that you're going to have to work with within governments. So there's going to be different banks, different investment companies that you're going to have to deal with. Once you've identified all of these various institutions, working with them can be complex and it can be time consuming. Some of the other hurdles that you can come up with when you're doing your estate planning is how to allocate assets and how to make sure that you are being fair. So I always come back to the fact that you need to be able to communicate. Now that's sometimes easier said than done. Family dynamics are very complex. And even in the closest of families, often there's underlying tensions or concerns or feelings that can get in the way unless there's clear communication and unless there's an understanding before you actually pass away. That can really avoid a permanent imprint on the behavior and the relationship between your surviving children or other relatives as to what decisions were made and how everything is going to be split and why it's going to be split that way. So this week on my website, the article that I've written and posted there is about the top 3 estate planning mistakes that can be made that set the groundwork for a whole lot of other issues if these aren't taken care of. Bit of a spoiler alert, there is one bonus in there as well. And I do hope that you'll take the time to go over to the website and take a read of the article. If you find it valuable, please share it with others, pass it on, and as always, you can reach out to me. Now, something I'd also like to point out too is the actual core purpose for estate planning. Again, a lot of people think that they don't have anything. If they're not wealthy, they think they don't have to do estate planning. And probably that's because of the phrase estate planning. So don't be intimidated by that. You don't need to have millions of dollars. You don't even have to own a home or any other real property. What you do have to have is anything, really. You have to have surviving loved ones. You have to have some possessions. You have to have potentially some money in bank accounts. As I mentioned before, the will is the cornerstone of the estate plan, and that helps identify core things, such as who is going to get that toaster that everybody loves, or if you still have either dependent children or perhaps you have an adult child who is a dependent because of some health issue. The will is the place to make sure that you've established guardianship. So estate planning should not be in and of itself an intimidating approach. If you have any means at all, then of course you have to also engage the services of a financial professional who you trust, who you can work with, and who can best structure your finances, not only for the future after you pass away and to take care of those that you have left behind, but also to ensure that your needs are going to be taken care of. You also maybe want to take care of making sure that you have appropriate health coverage, depending on if you know that you have any chronic conditions or any potential upcoming health issues that you need to plan for emotionally, physically, and also financially. Maybe you can obtain some third-party health insurance at a reasonable cost that will cover you for any future issues. I'd like to remind you here that I am a certified executor advisor, and as such, I can help you wade through all of the difficulties when it comes to the estate administration. But beyond that, I can also sit with you and help you work through the steps that you need to go through to ensure that you have done your proper estate planning and give you some guidance on who to name as your power of attorney, for instance, or your medical representative. You might have something in mind, but having something in mind is not necessarily the same as understanding the logic between choosing the right person. So once again, please hop over, take a look at the article. It's going to be a short read. I hope that you enjoy it. Thanks very much for joining me this week. I look forward to seeing you again next week on another topic. Bye for now.